Hello students, today we are going to go over how to write linear inequalities from a graph. Okay, so we're going to write these in the form y equals mx plus b. So we need to find out what our m is, what our b is, and then instead of equals we should have a less than or greater than sign there as well, okay? So first we want to find out where it crosses the y-axis, or the y-intercept, which will be our b. And right here, we can see that it crosses at -4. So b equals -4. Now we want to find out what our slope is. In other words, rise over run. So if we go from -4, we can rise 2 and go over 1. We can do that a couple of times, and then we can see that m is 2 over 1, and we always simplify that. So we see that our slope is going to be 2. And it is positive. It goes up and to the right. Because it is a solid line, it will be or equal to, and if it's the way the ladder falls, it will be less than. So our inequality is y is less than or equal to 2x minus 4. Okay, then it says to give 3 points in the solution. So all we have to do is look where the shaded area is, and we could give 3 points there. So I am going to say that over here is 3, 0, and then over there is going to be 4, 0, and if you go any further, 5, 0. All of those are in the shaded areas, so they are all solutions. Now, there's infinitely many solutions here, so there's so many other solutions you could select. For example, you could have 0, -6. That's also in the shaded region. So know that just because you didn't write it here or you don't have my exact answers, there are still other solutions. Okay? Now, let's go on to number 2. First of all, we notice that it's a dotted line, so it will not be or equal to. See how this takes more ink to be or equal to? More ink to make a solid line. This takes less ink, so it's either going to be greater than or less than without an or equal to. And because if this were a ladder, it falls this way, that would be the less than. And because the other part is shaded, we know it's going to be y is greater than something, x, and then there'll be plus or minus something, whatever it is, okay? Now we're going to see where it crosses the y-axis, and it looks like it crosses at -3. So that is our b. b equals -3. Now we just need to find out what our slope is, okay? So I'm going to put a dot here at -3. Then it looks like I go 1, 2, 3 over 2. So it's going to be rise 3, run 2. So it's going to be 3 over 2. But know that it's going down and to the right, so it has to be a negative. So y is greater than -3 halves x minus 3. And that looks like 3 over 6, and I don't want it to look like that. So now all I do is look in the shaded area and say give 3 points in the solution. I see that 0, 0 is a point that's shaded. I can say 1, 0 is a point that's shaded, and 2, 0 is a point that is also shaded. So that gives you 3 solutions to that graph. Now we go on to number 3. Now it's straight up and down, and it's a solid line. If it's a solid line, we know it's going to be or equal to. And since there's basically no slope, it's up and down. It's like a cliff. So remember, when it's a cliff, you have to think of a guy falling off the cliff, and remember that he's got X's for eyes because he's not alive anymore. So if he's got X's for eyes, it's going to be X. Now, because all of these numbers are less than this way, it'll be X is less than or equal to, and then where does that line go through? And the answer is 5. So this is a rare occasion where it's not y equals mx plus b form. This one's straight up and down, so it's no slope. So 3 points in the solution. Again, I put 0, 0, because that's shaded. And then I'm going to put 1, 0, that's shaded, and then 2, 0. We don't have to make it super fancy, just wherever it is shaded, and that counts. Okay? All right. Now, do you think you can do the rest? Go ahead and try them on your own, and then turn it back on. You can pause the video and finish the rest on your own, or you can turn it back on and listen to me as I do a couple more. Okay, number 4, it's a solid line. So then I know it's going to be y, and the ladder will fall this way, so that's less than. So it's got to be greater than or equal to blank x plus blank. And it looks like it goes through 1 right there. Okay, so now we have to figure out our slope. So it's downhill, so it's going to be a negative slope. And if it goes through 1, let's see, 1, 2, 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. And those are perfectly there. So I'm going to say it's negative 3 over 1, which we simplify to negative 3x plus 1. Okay? All right. Go ahead. I think you can finish the rest. Good luck, students. Have fun. You rock.